Ah, demolisher, yes. Let's see what happens to demolishers. Generally, those should be okay. Oh, look at all that trash. Welcome, Survivor. People were asking me already, now that we're in Alpha 20 stable, they were asking me, what about the best Horde base ever that you made back in Alpha 16? Does it still work, or is it going to fail miserably? And, well, you're going to see me build it here, and you're going to see me against the Blood Moon Horde, but, well, we have all this trash, so, well, let's get into it. Alright, so with that in mind, I am going to just build things up a little bit here to do a test. So we're going to make it 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 wide. The width is actually fairly important because it allows you to put in 2 blade traps. Blade traps basically cover something like this, 3 each. So if you have a 6 wide, you can basically optimize it by having 2 of them. It also allows you to pretty easily have some dart traps on the side that basically are shooting everything, which also further helps. If you have it wider, the dart traps will definitely work, but it can become a problem with setting them off with tripwires because, well, tripwires can only run, well, maximum 15 blocks, and you want to have the electric fences and everything like that. So this is going to be sort of the width of everything, and we're going to be putting in, let's see here, 6 here, and I think if I remember correctly, we needed to, well, we're going to do 2 versions eventually of this, but we're going to do basically with poles, something like this, so that we have these ones here, I believe would be correct, and then we're still going to have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and we're going to have the ramps leading up. But these are 3, 4, 5, 6 fairly important, and we're gonna take out this whole area. So a little bit. Let's get some frames. It's a little bit uneven, so let me just even things out a little bit here because that's a little bit annoying. You get weird behavior with potentially with zombies if they get stuck and they can't climb up, for instance. And here on the sides, we're gonna have arrow slits. Gonna have them 2 high, like so. And once we get here, let's do a 2 as well. You can have pretty much as many rows of arrow slits as you want to. So we're going to actually, let's set off one here as well, like so, because obviously they'll be coming here and going up, so you don't want to have these ones too high on this level. Let's do like that. So 1 here, come up here is another 1 row, and a last row here. Okay, so that probably should be okay, I think. Let's get up a second layer here of the poles, and that pole is, that's one thing that I wish the fun pimps would do. Give us a way, let's say within 30 seconds of placing a block down, so you can hold R on it and basically pick it up again, because it's really annoying when you're misplacing concrete 5,000 or steel 10,000. It's, you know, that gets so painful. And let's block off this one here, something like this. This should be working all right. I'm gonna make a 3rd height here as well, like this, and that probably allows us to do this. Give me this. Let's see here. We want to make sure we get those across here, because that's where we're going to put in the blade traps actually. Yeah, like this should be good. We're gonna do, don't need more arrow trips. We're gonna use this area. Let's do what's called pillar. And there's so many block types here, which is, it's awesome, but it's also a little bit annoying. Let's see here if we put them. Is that correct? I think that's correct actually. And the way to test it is to basically place down 1 here and 1 there. Oh, that is not correct. Hold on, it was the wrong pillar, unfortunately. I wanted the pillar that is centered. Let's do R, and now it's starting to rain. Pillar, oh, it's the corner, right. Wrong pillar. Looks better like this. I mean, it doesn't matter for stability reasons, but this looks better. And the reason you want to have it like this is that when the zombies come here, it's not going to bash anything. Well, it could bash these ones, but they're not going to bash this one. If they start bashing this one, it becomes an issue because they degrade so much faster. So instead, they start walking up, and you can see what happens here. Chop. The head goes off. And if they do come underneath here, they tend to go to the side. If I just goes up like this, you see I'm basically sliding off a little bit, and then they get chopped off and everything. So this is perfect. That prevents a little bit of the damage that might happen if they're just punching here. All right, so that part is done. Okay, let's do a kill all. There's a coyote out there. Why do I have the rain? It's so crappy. Okay, so we're now going to put in the dart traps, and this is where you can have as many or as few dart traps as you want to have. This way, correct, and this way, this way, this way, this way. Okay, that's much better. It's actually a really simple, very straightforward way of building. Let me get some more dart traps that I have here. Let's copy rotation, and like this. You'll see it's something like this. You don't necessarily want to place everything down before you start hooking them up. I'm just doing it so you can see them easier. So place that down here. That means I don't have it in direct line of any cop vomit and everything. And now we have that. We're going to basically put our standard of having tripwire posts to set off the dart traps, and we're going to have the electric fences. So electric fences we want to have. Now this can be something that can cause a bit of an issue. Electric fences, at least when I have been playing, has been having issues with, and why is that one not working? Something there perhaps? Yes. I've been having an issue with them basically, not misfiring, but basically misaligning, where suddenly they would start, basically they would be connected correctly across here, that I'm going to do in a moment, and then suddenly after whatever happens, they'll be just basically pointing straight out into the distance. I mean, going a long distance, and it'll actually electrocute as well. It's a really weird behavior. I keep having that when I'm doing my streaming. And then we're going to put down, nope, not that one. We're going to put down concrete. Oh crap, I hate how it basically consolidates into the previous shape. I'm like, keep its own shape. But anyway, do that. I'm gonna make it a little bit nicer. We're gonna put it down so, and we're gonna have one tripwire, and actually a tripwire here. You see, you basically have the dart traps behind. You have electric fence, and then you have the tripwire. Of course, you can switch around the tripwire and everything. It just is a little bit easier to have this one in the front because they will take some damage, and you do want to make sure you have them easier access to repair them. I'm gonna do that. 1, 2, break, place, and like so. Pretty straightforward. Let's look at hooking everything up. So the way we're going to hook things up is going to go from this generator bank to the electric fence. Electric fence is going to go all the way across here, and this is where placement can be a bit of a pain if you place things, all the stuff before it's done, because you see it's at the limit of where it can actually connect. So try not to place all the blocks beforehand, because it becomes a bit of a pain. You can sometimes reach it, depending on where you are. If I can reach it easier here. Nope, I don't have a good. Nope, I don't have a very good angle. You see, that's a problem. If I do that, I might have a better angle. Usually for some of these things, it's actually easier to place down all these fences and everything, and then place the dart traps, simply because it's a little bit tough to aim at things otherwise. Even though I'm flying around here, you can see I do have some issues with, yeah, you see even here, it's just hard to, because it's at the limit of the distance that it couldn't connect. So placing things down in order might make it a little bit easier. Okay, so at least now they are across, which means that these ones will always be active. they will always have a power draw. And if you don't want that, you could actually connect it to the dart traps. In this case, I'm going to keep it here. The reason I want to do it that way is because I keep running into issues in some of the versions where some of the zombies are not setting off the electric fences. Or they're not setting off the tripwires, and they would get stuck on the electric fences. So doing this way, just trying it out slightly differently. But this way we do connect here. Same thing here, connect here, and connect here. And this is where we run into even more issues with having these. So we're going to run that across from here to there. See, it goes, it can reach. It's just the line of sight that can be a little bit of a painful if you haven't actually placed down things. A little bit hard to get the line of sight then. So from this side to this side, and then we go from this bottom one down to this bottom one. All right, so now you basically have all the tripwires here. The electric fences will always be, but you want the tripwires to be the ones that are triggering all the dart traps. And now we have to, unfortunately, replace the dart traps. So let's do copy rotation. And of course, you can place them even if you see their wires there. It doesn't matter. Okay, why did that one not work? Did I place it wrongly? Well, maybe I did. Okay, so this is the triggering tripwire post. So this one goes into the bottom, very important. This one goes into the bottom. This one goes into the bottom. And where you should go, I go from bottom to top, bottom to top, bottom, nope, do that, bottom to top. And then I go from bottom and across to the bottom. And that's actually pretty easy in the front here. I go from the bottom to this. I go from the bottom, I got stuck there, bottom to this, so that everything gets set off at the same time. And of course now these ones are not connected yet, so I do the same thing here, bottom, top, bottom, top, bottom, top, and those are done, right? Something like this. And I just remembered I do need to remove that. I need to remove that. I need to put in these bars. And no, actually, I don't need to put them there. Hold on, we're gonna put them one front. And you will see why in a bit. Like so. So now we have that space that is free. And the reason we want to have that free is that we're gonna put in one auto turret. Going to put in one shotgun turret. You could put in two of either one. Doesn't really matter. They work slightly differently because it's so short range. Shotgun turrets probably are better. The reason in previous builds I was using auto turrets because shotgun turrets had a decrease in effectiveness against armor targets, which no longer exist. So in this case, shotgun turrets might be better. But let me do one of each, and we're going to connect them with. We're going to have a switch. We probably should have had more switches, but like this works. Now let's see. Let's put down a little bit of a wall here. So that allows us to put up our switches. So everything is pretty much done here on the front. So we're going to just do that. All right, I'm just here putting in the engines here, and we're going to refuel things. So we're going to turn it on. And now let's do this hookup. So what I'm going to do actually, let's go here to the turrets. And we do the turrets like so. We actually get those on a switch. Let's say I've put in some ammo and we're going to turn it on so I can actually aim them a little bit. I want them to sort of aim here in the front. I don't want them to shoot too far over there. I want them to sort of keep it here in the front. And do the same thing with this. That just basically means they don't waste a lot of the ammo. You don't want them to start shooting at all times anyway, and it's locked there. And we're going to do dart trap, which we're going to go down to here, go to here, and go to here. Better. And we then connect this one to this one. And then we're going to have the blade traps. We're going to go from here. You could do the blade traps from the tripwires as well. And what I would do then, the thing is that it works. The problem is that if you connect it from here, it might be a little bit too late because they're already coming up by the time it's triggered. So then you have to connect it from here. The problem with doing that is that they'll trigger once they come up here, but as they're up here, it stopped triggering because, well, the zombie is no longer there. And that becomes a bit of a concern, simply because it means that they might not be spinning all the time. So we're probably going to have it like this, so we can have them spin at all times. Like so. It is working fine. And these ones should now be working as well. Nope. Okay, this one is... Okay, good. Let's put this on here as well. And this one at there. Is it rain? It's raining in the desert. Maybe it should not be... Well, I guess it can rain in the desert, but it's just not very common. So now we have, I think, everything... I think we have everything. If we switched off the everything here, we can then test things out. Now, there's a few things that could happen, and we'll see how that turns out. But let's start with bring in some friends. Let's do her. Hello, lady. Let's see. She should be hitting the electric fence. Yes, correct. All right, come on. The first electric fence is fine. Second electric fence is fine as well. See, she is taking damage. Isn't she moving? Come on. She's gotten stuck. Interesting. It's probably because she's by herself. She's having problem going up the ramp. Well, that was interesting. What happens if we do a feral? This way. Okay, she also gets stuck on the first. She gets stuck on the second. The question, is she still going to be stuck there? Is she going to move up? No, okay, she's up. She's up. Perfect. That's how I expected it to happen, actually. Okay, so that part works. They're always in progress. And if we do blade traps, we'll see what happens. Let's bring in, look at me. Let's bring in these. They all get stuck. And now they're starting to get into the blade traps. Oh, see those heads come off? 3 of them dead. 3 left. Let's see if these ones are keep going to be stuck. Interesting. It does seem like under some conditions, zombies get stuck and they actually can't move off the electric fence. That is really weird. That must have been a change because I didn't see that happening in Alpha 19. Oh, that's really interesting. Wonder why. But let's say we have the dart traps and I have filled everything up and I've locked the ammo. We should see them. Oh yeah. See this? Oh, see that. Oh, perfect. And I think all of them are getting hit. We're actually going to do... I don't have any skill point. Give self XP 100,000. Is that enough? Did that give me any... Let's do that. Oh, there's... Alright, so she's stuck up there. That was interesting. This one is... Alright. Alright, that's alright. Okay, so what we wanted to do here, it makes it a little bit easier to see. We're going to give up our... This. Basically gives us experience for all these things happening. Okay, so that works fine. And if we then turn on the turrets... Let's see what happens. Let's bring in a few of them again. Oh yeah. That 9mm is going to town. And the shotgun turret is as well. It's those and the electric fence. Now let's see how long that takes. We can loot. That's another good thing, that if they die at the front, you can actually loot. Another one. Now you do have that really interesting where these ones are not actually... Nope, this one. Let me reload. Stuck. That's a really weird thing for the zombie AI. I mean, it doesn't really matter. It does have one potential issue that these ones are degrading a little bit too fast. That of course you just need some parts and some forged iron, and you can actually repair it like so. Okay. Oh, we're gonna have a nice little hello. Oh, that's nice. Come in here. Yes, just shout, just scream. Scream and shout. Scream and shout. Ah, so that's another thing that you might be having. And this is something that I was expecting as well. That zombies get stuck on the outside for some reason. It's really weird, but it does happen. Alright. If I turn everything on, of course, we should be pretty good. So, alright, so one concern I have, and I'm going to run a very quick Blood Moon Horde to see whether... Hey, turn off the AI. Well, don't walk around. Whether they will get stuck here. Because that's something that the zombies might say, hey, you know, instead of going up here, I'm just going to start bashing it to try to get through from anywhere around. If that happens, in the past I have had to double up the walls. And that's a bit uglier. It works. And or make sure that this one is a ramp so they sort of filter in. Because you notice the Screamer, she was sort of stuck here. And then she finally moved in across here. Having these ones be ramps sometimes will make that a little bit easier. For instance, like, let's do this. And let's put in these. And then we're going to have these ones. And then you basically use these as ramps. They are a little bit better at guiding the zombies. Oh, that's not what I want to. Like this. Guiding them in towards you. And that might take care of some of those issues. It's again, it's a little bit of a stylistic thing. I usually tend to do that because it looks a little bit better as well. Otherwise it gets this really ugly kind of thing. But what we're going to do, I'm going to finish up here so that I have some proper bars on top, because I'm going to get vultures and I'm going to start a Blood Moon Horde. So give me a moment. Alright, so this is what we have. We have the entranceway with the blade traps. We have dart traps, a bunch of them. 6 per side, shooting across. We have electric fences, tripwires, and we have the turrets here. Perfect. I also put on a couple of turrets here to take care of any vultures, and I just painted it up a little bit. And that should be enough for us to get started. So what I'm going to do here, I'm going to do a kill all. And I'm going to wait until the Blood Moon Horde. Actually, I'm not going to wait. I'm going to do set time 77 and then 21:55. And we should be getting a Blood Moon Horde coming in here. And I think everything is running. Yes, we're going to keep those off. Going to turn that off. And we should be standing here. One thing that you do have to take care about, though, is that you want to make sure you don't have cops vomiting. If cops vomit, they tend to hit the blade traps, which is a bit of a pain, because you definitely don't want them to do that, because they'll take them out. Okay, they're coming in here. Alright, it's a really good place to just stand here and shoot, because with the electric fences stunning them, I mean, look at these really easy. Am I? Oh yeah, okay, so let's turn these one on then. Oh yeah. Headshot. 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 Almost headshot. Turn around and dead. That's what you want to avoid. That can hit. Yeah, see, it probably hit that. Or maybe it was from the previous testing, not sure. You do need to have steel. Or steel. Which of course, because I'm in creative mode, I can just get those. You do want to make sure that you are repairing these. But otherwise, you know, you can stand here. If I wanted to, I can probably hide here. Let's do that. Let's go out of body experience here a little bit. See what happens. The zombies are coming in from the south here. They are not bashing the walls, which is good. And if you're hiding, it becomes effectively an AFK base. Because, well, without the cops seeing that, seeing you, they should not be... Oh, she got stuck on the corner here. She's like, that corner offends me. Whatever. Interesting is the corners that are offending them. Ah, demolisher, yes. Let's see what happens to demolishers. Generally, those should be okay. They generally have nothing against dart traps. One demolisher dead. He should be dying as well. Well, he's stuck there, and now he's stuck there, and now he's dead. Well, at least they work really well against demolishers. Now we have a cop. Because the cop can't see us, one potential issue is if there's too many zombies and I only have 8 concurrent, then the dart traps might not be able to take out the cop before he explodes, and then he'll do damage here. It's not going to cause a breach, most likely, but it could take out the blade trap, and that's a little bit annoying. But other than that, it's, you know, there's a pretty standard setup, and from what I can see, I don't see any weaknesses that are... I mean, the pathing is fine, except some of the corners, like you saw there, it gets stuck on some of the corners. I think that when they're trying to get past from here to here, potentially, they might get a little bit frustrated. Or maybe they just don't like the corners. I mean, he was here, and then it's like, I'm gonna go back. I'm going back. And then it's like, yeah, same thing with him. This is why the AI is really weird, because even if he takes out this block, he can't get in because it's a corner block. But he really likes that corner block. Alright, that's alright. Let all his friends take all the punishment then. No one is vomiting because the cops can't see me. Now Demolisher came in. Well, that's working pretty well. Oh, that's blade traps. So we can come out here, do some repairs. Oh, let's get that UI up again. But normally what I would do here, I would probably keep the turrets off, leave all this running, and then you basically stand here and just take them off. And if you really wanted to make this a little bit more interesting, let's say you have enough ammo yourself, you unlock the ammo here for the dart traps. You do, come on, this. So this is the first row. This is the first row where they get stuck first. You see, he is no longer getting killed by the dart traps. Why does that matter? Well, it means that I can stand here and do my headshots. Because they get stuck on the first row, and it's only when they go on the second row that it actually starts shooting in the dart traps, which basically means that I can get a lot more headshots. Because you see that one? Oh, he's stuck. Headshot, 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 headshot. Another headshot, headshot. You do have to watch a little bit more against the cops, for instance. But it's a really good way of getting your ammo. Let's turn off this, let's turn off this. If you want to turn this into a melee base, it actually sort of works. Depending on how you have the electric fences, because they will be stunning them, meaning that by the time they get into you, they will be slightly damaged, and they won't be that many up in the front. You notice there's like maybe one here in the front. The rest of them are all standing back there. So as a melee base, this works really well as well. Let's get him in the face. Get him in the face. Get him in the face. They slowly make their way up, and that's when you hit them in the head. Now, potentially it could be an issue if he gets stuck too much underneath the blade trap, but I mean, this works really well as a melee base as well. I am not using any ammo at all. I'm basically just standing here and hitting them in the face as they come up. Now you do get some degradation here of these ones, but it's actually not too bad. I know you have time to get up and do things. Let's take her. Let's take you. Let's take you. Let's take you. And if you still have these ones, cops, I would basically just shoot anyway. Just make sure you take them out, because they can be a bit annoying if they start to vomit. They shouldn't while they're being stunned. Hey, who's lucky customer number 1? And if I had spec'd everything up, I was better in my clubs. You can one hit kill a lot of these zombies just with your club, or you could use your sledgehammer because... Oh, let's do that. Nope. I'm hitting... the placement here is a little bit awkward. You have to make sure you don't hit anything else. You want to hit the zombie and not this one, because that will take a bunch of damage because of the sledgehammer has that extra damage against blocks. But this works pretty well. So let's trim back everything. You. And let's have a look here. So what I would say, does the best Horde Base ever still work in Alpha 20? It works amazingly well. Whether you want to use it as a melee base, you want to use it as an AFK base, or you simply want to just have all the traps running and everything. Now this is just 8 concurrent. I am going to make this a little bit better, and I'm going to try it against a horde of 64 zombies, but I'm going to need to make changes because this one is simply not scaled up to having 64 concurrent zombies. There's just not enough blade traps and dart traps to take care of that. It'll degrade, you'll get explosions from the cops, and that will just ruin my day. But against 8 concurrent, well, you'll see. No problem at all. Try it out. And good luck, Survivor. If you can get all these traps going, you should be super safe for the Blood Moon Horde.
Special thanks to the great patrons supporting the channel. If you would like to join the vetted community and support these videos, do follow the Patreon link.